ألم تر إلى الذين قيل لهم كفوا أيديكم وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة فلما كتب عليهم القتال إذا فريق منهم يخشون الناس كخشية الله أو أشد خشية وقالوا ربنا لم كتبت علينا القتال لولا أخرتنا إلى أجل قريب قل متاع الدنيا قليل والآخرة خير لمن اتقى ولا تظلمون فتيلا.
Have you not seen those who were told, restrain your hands and establish the prayer and pay the zakah? But when fighting was enjoined upon them, some of them feared men as one should fear Allah, or even more, and said, Our Lord, why have you ordained fighting for us? Why did you not grant us a little more respite? Say to them, there's little enjoyment in this world. The world to come is much better for the God-fearing, and you shall not be wronged even to the extent of the husk of a date stone.
أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة وإن تصبهم حسنة يقولوا هذه من عند الله وإن تصبهم سيئة يقولوا هذه من عندك قل كل من عند الله فما لهؤلاء القوم لا يكادون يفقهون حديثا.
Wherever you might be, death will overtake you, even though you be in massive towers. And when some good happens to them, they say, this is from Allah. Whereas when some misfortune befalls them, they say, this is because of you. Say, all is from Allah. What has happened to these people that they seem to understand nothing?
ما أصابك من حسنة فمن الله وما أصابك من سيئة فمن نفسك وأرسلناك للناس رسولا وكفى بالله شهيدا.
Whatever good happens to you is from Allah, and whatever misfortune smites you is because of your own action. We have sent you to mankind, O Muhammad, as a messenger, and Allah is sufficient as a witness.
من يطع الرسول فقد أطاع الله ومن تولى فما أرسلناك عليهم حفيظا.
He who obeys the messenger thereby obeys Allah. As for he who turns away, we have not sent you as a keeper over them.
ويقولون طاعة فإذا برزوا من عندك بيت طائفة منهم غير الذي تقول والله يكتب ما يبيتون فأعرض عنهم وتوكل على الله وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَكِيلًا.
They say in your presence, we obey, but when they leave your presence, a party of them meets by night to plan against what you've said. Allah takes note of all their plots. So let them alone and put your trust in Allah. Allah is sufficient as a guardian.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا.
Do they not ponder about the Quran? Had it been from any other than Allah, they would surely have found in it much inconsistency.
وَإِذَا جَاءَهُمْ أَمْرٌ مِّنَ الْأَمْنِ أَوِ الْخَوْفِ أَذَاعُوا بِهِ وَلَوْ رَدُّوهُ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ وَإِلَى أُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ لَعَلِمَهُ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَنبِطُونَهُ مِنْهُمْ ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته لاتبعتم الشيطان إلا قليلا.
Whenever they come upon any news bearing upon either security or causing consternation, they go about spreading it, whereas if they were to convey it to either the messenger or to those from among them entrusted with authority, it would come to the knowledge of those who are competent to investigate it. But for Allah's bounty and mercy upon you, weak as you were, all but a few of you would surely have followed Satan.
فقاتل في سبيل الله لا تكلف إلا نفسك وحرض المؤمنين عسى الله أن يكف بأس الذين كفروا والله أشد بأسا وأشد تنكيلا.
So, O Messenger, fight in the way of Allah. You are responsible only for yourself, and rouse the believers to fight, for Allah may well curb the might of the unbelievers. Indeed, Allah is the strongest in power and the most terrible in chastisement.
من يشفع شفاعة حسنة يكن له نصيب منها ومن يشفع شفاعة سيئة يكن له كفل منها وكان الله على كل شيء مقيتا.
He who intercedes in a good cause shall have a share in its good result, and he who intercedes in an evil cause shall have a share in its burden. Allah watches over everything.
وَإِذَا حُيِّيتُم بِتَحِيَّةٍ فَحَيُّوا بِأَحْسَنَ مِنْهَا أَوْ رُدُّوهَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَسِيبًا.
When you are greeted with a salutation, then return it with a better one, or at least the same. Surely Allah takes good count of everything.
الله لا إله إلا هو ليجمعنكم إلى يوم القيامة لا ريب فيه ومن أصدق من الله حديثا.
There is no God but Allah. He will certainly gather you all together on the day of resurrection, the day regarding which there can be no doubt, whose word can be truer than Allah's.
فما لكم في المنافقين فئتين والله أركسهم بما كسبوا أتريدون أن تهدوا من أضل الله ومن يضلل الله فلن تجد له سبيلا.
What has happened to you that you have two minds about the hypocrites, even though Allah has reverted them owing to the sins that they earned? Do you want to lead those to the right way whom Allah let go astray? And he whom Allah lets go astray, for him you can never find a way.
وَدُّوا لَوْ تَكْفُرُونَ كَمَا كَفَرُوا فَتَكُونُونَ سَوَاءً فَلَا تَتَّخِذُوا مِنْهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءَ حَتَّى يُهَاجِرُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَخُذُوهُمْ وَاقْتُلُوهُمْ حَيْثُ وَجَدتُّمُوهُمْ وَلَا تَتَّخِذُوا مِنْهُمْ وَلِيًّا وَلَا نَصِيرًا.
They wish that you should disbelieve just as they disbelieved, so that you may all be alike. Do not therefore take allies from them until they emigrate in the way of Allah. But if they turn their backs on emigration, seize them and slay them wherever you come upon them. Take none of them for your ally or helper.
إِلَّا الَّذِينَ يَصِلُونَ إِلَىٰ قَوْمٍ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُم مِّيثَاقٌ أَوْ جَاءُوكُمْ حَصِرَتْ صُدُورُهُمْ أَن يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ أَوْ يُقَاتِلُوا قَوْمَهُمْ وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَسَلَّطَهُمْ عَلَيْكُمْ فَلَقَاتَلُوكُمْ فَإِنِ اعْتَزَلُوكُمْ فَلَمْ يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ وَأَلْقَوْا إِلَيْكُمُ السَّلَمَ فَمَا جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ عَلَيْهِمْ سَبِيلًا.
Unless it be such of them who seek refuge with the people who are joined with you by a covenant, or those who come to you because their hearts shrink from fighting either against you or against their own people. Had Allah so willed, He would certainly have given them power over you, and they would have fought against you. If they leave you alone and do not fight against you and offer you peace, then Allah does not permit you to harm them.
ستجدون آخرين يريدون أن يأمنوكم ويأمنوا قومهم كلما ردوا إلى الفتنة أركسوا فيها فإن لم يعتزلوكم ويلقوا إليكم السلم ويكفوا أيديهم فخذوهم واقتلوهم حيث ثقفتموهم وأولئكم جعلنا لكم عليهم سلطانا مبينا.
You'll also find others who wish to be secure from you and secure from their people, but who, whenever they have any opportunity to cause mischief, plunge into it headlong. If such people neither leave you alone, nor offer you peace, nor restrain their hands from hurting you, seize them and slay them wherever you come upon them. It is against these that we have granted you a clear sanction.
وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ أَن يَقْتُلَ مُؤْمِنًا إِلَّا خَطَأً وَمَنْ قَتَلَ مُؤْمِنًا خَطَأً فَتَحْرِيرُ رَقَبَةٍ مُؤْمِنَةٍ وَدِيَةٌ مُسَلَّمَةٌ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ إِلَّا أَن يَصَّدَّقُوا فَإِن كَانَ مِن قَوْمٍ عَدُوٍّ لَكُمْ وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَتَحْرِيرُ رَقَبَةٍ مُؤْمِنَةٍ وَإِن كَانَ مِن قَوْمٍ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُم مِّيثَاقٌ فَدِيَةٌ مُسَلَّمَةٌ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ وَتَحْرِيرُ رَقَبَةٍ مُؤْمِنَةٍ فَمَن لَّمْ يَجِدْ فَصِيَامُ شَهْرَيْنِ مُتَتَابِعَيْنِ تَوْبَةً مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلِيمًا حَكِيمًا.
It is not for a believer to slay another believer unless by mistake, and he who has slain a believer by mistake his atonement is to set free from bondage a believing person and to pay blood money to his, that is, the slain person's heirs, unless they forego it by way of charity. And if the slain belonged to a hostile people, but was a believer, then the atonement is to set free from bondage a believing person. And if the slain belonged to a non-Muslim people with whom you have a covenant, then the atonement is to pay the blood money to his heirs and to set free from bondage a believing person. But he who cannot free a slave should fast for 2 consecutive months. This is the penance ordained by Allah. Allah is all-knowing, all-wise.
ومن يقتل مؤمنا متعمدا فجزاؤه جهنم خالدا فيها وغضب الله عليه ولعنه وأعد له عذابا عظيما.
And he who willfully slays a believer, his reward is hell, where he will abide. Allah's wrath is against him, and he has cast his curse upon him, and has prepared for him a great chastisement.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا ضربتم في سبيل الله فتبينوا ولا تقولوا لمن ألقى إليكم السلام لست مؤمنا تبتغون عرض الحياة الدنيا فعند الله مغانم كثيرة كذلك كنتم من قبل فمن الله عليكم فتبينوا إن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا.
Believers, when you go forth in the way of Allah, ascertain and distinguish between friend and foe. And do not say to him who offers you the greeting of peace, "You are not a believer." If you seek the good of this worldly life, there lies with Allah abundant gain. After all, you too were such before, but then Allah was gracious to you. Discern then, for Allah is well aware of what you do.
لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين غير أولي الضرر والمجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم فضل الله المجاهدين بأموالهم وأنفسهم على القاعدين درجة وكلا وعد الله الحسنى وفضل الله المجاهدين على القاعدين أجرا عظيما.
Those believers who sit at home, unless they do so out of a disabling injury, are not the equals of those who strive in the way of Allah with their possessions and their lives. Allah has exalted in rank those who strive with their possessions and their lives over those who sit at home. This even though to each Allah has promised some good reward. He has preferred for a mighty reward those who strive in the way of Allah over those who sit at home.
درجات منه ومغفرة ورحمة وكان الله غفورا رحيما.
For them are ranks, forgiveness and favors from Him. Allah is all forgiving, all compassionate.
إن الذين توفاهم الملائكة ظالمي أنفسهم قالوا فيم كنتم قالوا كنا مستضعفين في الأرض قالوا ألم تكن أرض الله واسعة فتهاجروا فيها فأولئك مأواهم جهنم وساءت مصيرا.
While taking the souls of those who were engaged in wronging themselves, the angels asked, "In what circumstances were you?" They replied, "We were too weak and helpless in the land." The angel said, "Was not the earth of Allah wide enough for you to emigrate in it? For such persons, their refuge is hell, an evil destination indeed.
إلا المستضعفين من الرجال والنساء والولدان لا يستطيعون حيلة ولا يهتدون سبيلا.
Except the men, women, and children who were indeed too feeble to be able to seek the means of escape and did not know where to go.
فأولئك عسى الله أن يعفو عنهم وكان الله عفوا غفورا.
Maybe Allah shall pardon these, for Allah is all pardoning, most forgiving.
ومن يهاجر في سبيل الله يجد في الأرض مراغما كثيرا وسعة ومن يخرج من بيته مهاجرا إلى الله ورسوله ثم يدركه الموت فقد وقع أجره على الله وكان الله غفورا رحيما.
He who emigrates in the way of Allah will find in the earth enough room for refuge and plentiful resources. And he who goes forth from his house as a migrant in the way of Allah and His Messenger, and whom death overtakes, his reward becomes incumbent on Allah. Surely Allah is all forgiving, all compassionate.
وَإِذَا ضَرَبْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَقْصُرُوا مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ إِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَن يَفْتِنَكُمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِنَّ الْكَافِرِينَ كَانُوا لَكُمْ عَدُوًّا مُبِينًا.
When you go forth journeying in the land, there's no blame on you if you shorten the prayer, especially if you fear that the unbelievers might cause you harm. Surely the unbelievers are your open enemies.
وَإِذَا كُنْتَ فِيهِمْ فَأَقَمْتَ لَهُمُ الصَّلَاةَ فَلْتَقُمْ طَائِفَةٌ منهم معك وليأخذوا أسلحتهم فإذا سجدوا فليكونوا من ورائكم ولتأت طائفة أخرى لم يصلوا فليصلوا معك وليأخذوا حذرهم وأسلحتهم وَدَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْ تَغْفُلُونَ عَنْ أَسْلِحَتِكُمْ وَأَمْتِعَتِكُمْ فَيَمِيلُونَ عَلَيْكُمْ مَيْلَةً وَاحِدَةً وَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ إِن كَانَ بِكُمْ أَذًى مِّن مَّطَرٍ أَوْ كُنتُم مَّرْضَىٰ أَن تَضَعُوا أَسْلِحَتَكُمْ وَخُذُوا حِذْرَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَعَدَّ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا.
O Messenger, if you are among the believers and rise in the state of war to lead the prayer for them, let a party of them stand with you to worship, keeping their arms. When they have performed their prostration, let them go behind you, and let another party who has not prayed pray with you, remaining on guard and keeping their arms. For the unbelievers love to see you heedless of your arms and your baggage, so that they might swoop upon you in a surprise attack. But there shall be no blame upon you if you were to lay aside your arms, if you are either troubled by rain or are sick, but remain on guard. Surely Allah has prepared a humiliating chastisement for the unbelievers.
فإذا قضيتم الصلاة فاذكروا الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبكم فإذا اطمأننتم فأقيموا الصلاة إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا.
When you have finished the prayer, remember Allah standing and sitting and reclining. And when you become secure, perform the regular prayer. Prayer is enjoined upon the believers at stated times.
ولا تهنوا في ابتغاء القوم إن تكونوا تألمون فإنهم يألمون إن تكونوا تألمون فإنهم يألمون كما تألمون وترجون من الله ما لا يرجون وكان الله عليما حكيما.
Do not be faint of heart in pursuing these people. If you happen to suffer harm, they too are suffering just as you are. While you may hope from Allah what they cannot hope for, Allah is all-knowing, all-wise.
إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق لتحكم بين الناس بما أراك الله ولا تكن للخائنين خصيما.
O Messenger, we have revealed to you this book with the truth, so that you may judge between people in accordance with what Allah has shown you. So do not dispute on behalf of the dishonest.
واستغفر الله إن الله كان غفورا رحيما.
And seek forgiveness from Allah. Surely Allah is all forgiving, all compassionate.
ولا تجادل عن الذين يختانون أنفسهم إن الله لا يحب من كان خوانا أثيما.
Do not plead for those who are dishonest to themselves. Allah does not love him who betrays trust and persists in sin.
يستخفون من الناس ولا يستخفون من الله وهو معهم إذ يبيتون ما لا يرضى من القول وكان الله بما يعملون محيطا.
They can hide their deeds from humans, but they cannot hide them from Allah. For He is with them even when they hold nightly counsels that are unpleasing to Allah. Allah encompasses all their doings.
أنتم هؤلاء جادلتم عنهم في الحياة الدنيا فمن يجادل الله عنهم يوم القيامة أم من يكون عليهم وكيلا.
You pleaded on their behalf in this worldly life, but who will plead with Allah on their behalf on the day of resurrection, or who will be their defender there?
ومن يعمل سوءا أو يظلم نفسه ثم يستغفر الله يجد الله غفورا رحيما.
He who does either evil or wrongs himself and then asks for Allah's forgiveness will find Allah all forgiving, all compassionate.
ومن يكسب إثما فإنما يكسبه على نفسه وكان الله عليما حكيما.
He who commits a sin commits it only to his detriment. Surely Allah is all-knowing, all-wise.
ومن يكسب خطيئة أو إثما ثم يرم به بريئا فقد احتمل بهتانا وإثما مبينا.
But he who commits either a fault or a sin and then casts it upon an innocent person lays upon himself the burden of a false charge and a flagrant sin.
ولولا فضل الله عليك ورحمته لهم طائفة منهم أن يضلوك وما يضلون إلا أنفسهم وما يضرونك من شيء وأنزل الله عليك الكتاب والحكمة وعلمك ما لم تكن تعلم وكان فضل الله عليك عظيما.
O Messenger, but for Allah's favor and mercy upon you, a party of them had resolved to mislead you, yet they only misled themselves and could not have harmed you in any way. Allah revealed to you the book and wisdom, and He taught you what you knew not. Great indeed has been Allah's favor upon you.
لا خير في كثير من نجواهم إلا من أمر بصدقة أو معروف أو إصلاح بين الناس ومن يفعل ذلك ابتغاء مرضات الله فسوف نؤتيه أجرا عظيما.
Most of their secret conferrings are devoid of good, unless one secretly enjoins charity, good deeds, and setting the affairs of men right. We shall grant whoever does that, seeking to please Allah, a great reward.
ومن يشاقق الرسول من بعد ما تبين له الهدى ويتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين نوله ما تولى ونصله جهنم وساءت مصيرا.
As for him who sets himself against the messenger and follows a path other than that of the believers, even after true guidance had become clear to him, we will let him go to the way he has turned to, and we will cast him into hell, an evil destination.
إن الله لا يغفر أن يشرك به ويغفر ما دون ذلك لمن يشاء ومن يشرك بالله فقد ضل ضلالا بعيدا.
Truly, it is only associating others with Allah in His divinity that Allah does not forgive, and forgives anything besides that to whomsoever He wills. Whoever associates others with Allah in His divinity has indeed strayed far away.
إن يدعون من دونه إلا إناثا وإن يدعون إلا شيطانا مريدا.
Rather than call upon him, they call upon goddesses and call upon a rebellious Satan.
لعنه الله وقال لأتخذن من عبادك نصيبا مفروضا.
Upon whom Allah has laid his curse. He said to Allah, I will take to myself an appointed portion of your servants.
وَلَأُضِلَّنَّهُمْ وَلَأُمَنِّيَنَّهُمْ وَلَآمُرَنَّهُمْ فَلَيُبَتِّكُنَّ آذَانَ الْأَنْعَامِ وَلَآمُرَنَّهُمْ فَلَيُغَيِّرُنَّ خَلْقَ اللَّهِ وَمَنْ يَتَّخِذِ الشَّيْطَانَ وَلِيًّا مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَقَدْ خَسِرَ خُسْرَانًا مُبِينًا.
And shall lead them astray, and shall engross them in vain desires. And I shall command them, and they will cut off the ears of the cattle. And I shall command them, and they will disfigure Allah's creation. He who took Satan rather than Allah for his guardian has indeed suffered a manifest loss.
يَعِدُهُمْ وَيُمَنِّيهِمْ وَمَا يَعِدُهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ إِلَّا غُرُورًا.
Satan makes promises to them and fills them with vain hopes, but whatever he promises them is merely delusion.
أولئك مأواهم جهنم ولا يجدون عنها محيصا.
For these people, their abode shall be hell, and from there they shall find no way of escape.
والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات سندخلهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا وعد الله حقا ومن أصدق من الله قيلا.
But those who believe and do good, we shall cause them to enter the gardens beneath which rivers flow. Here they will abide forever. This is Allah's promise in truth, and whose word is truer than Allah's?
ليس بأمانيكم ولا أماني أهل الكتاب من يعمل سوءا يجز به ولا يجد له من دون الله وليا ولا نصيرا.
It is neither your fancies nor the fancies of the people of the book which matter. Whoever does evil shall reap its consequence, and will find none to protect and help him against Allah.
وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِنَ الصَّالِحَاتِ مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَأُولَئِكَ يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ وَلَا يُظْلَمُونَ نَقِيرًا.
Whoever does good and believes, whether he is male or female, such shall enter the garden, and they shall not be wronged in the slightest.
وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ دِينًا مِّمَّنْ أَسْلَمَ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ وَاتَّبَعَ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا.
And whose way of life could be better than that of he who submits his whole being to Allah, does good, and follows exclusively the way of Abraham, whom Allah took for a friend.
وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُحِيطًا.
Whatever is in the heavens and in the earth belongs to Allah. Allah encompasses everything.